So Safety Harbor is a small, quaint little town in Pinellas County, surrounded by bigger cities and a lot of population, and it's a highly desirable area. A lot of people want to live there. So with all that comes an expense. So just how expensive is it to live in Safety Harbor? Well, we're going to go over the cost of living in Safety Harbor, and we're going to do it right now. What's up, everyone? Sean McManaman here with the Vomero McManaman Group. We make videos every week about living in Tampa Bay, living in Florida, and real estate. So if this is your first time to our channel, hit that subscribe button and tap on that little bell, and you'll be notified each week when we make a new video. So the first thing I want to do is I want to show you where Safety Harbor is on a map so you see where it is in relation to everything else in the Tampa Bay area. So as you can see, Safety Harbor is directly west of Tampa, right across the bay. It sits right on Tampa Bay. It's about 25 minutes from downtown Tampa, about 20 minutes from the beach, depending on traffic, and it's about maybe 25, 30 minutes from St. Petersburg, downtown St. Pete, depending on the traffic. It is centrally located in Pinellas County, and it is in a great location. You're around everything in Safety Harbor. As you can see, Safety Harbor is a beautiful place, right on the water, with a lot of things to do. So for the first cost I want to go over, the biggest one you're going to have monthly, and that is your housing cost. And Safety Harbor tends to be on the more expensive side in relation to other areas in the Tampa Bay area. So for the median sales price of a single family home in Safety Harbor, it's $365,000. The national average is $274,000, and other cities in the Tampa Bay area are a little less expensive than Safety Harbor. So it is expensive. Homes go on and off the market in Safety Harbor very quickly in the time of this taping. And you have to have all your ducks in a row. If you're going to buy a home in Safety Harbor, you got to be prepared. You got to be totally approved and ready to go because there's going to be multiple offers. Also, if you're going to sell a home in Safety Harbor, you can price it correctly, sit back, and you're going to most likely get multiple offers. So Safety Harbor is highly desirable when it comes to housing, and it is on the more expensive side. So let's move over to the rent. So if you want to rent, then also Safety Harbor is going to be on the more expensive side because you're looking at rents for just apartments around $1,200 to $2,000 a month. If you're going to rent a single family home, you're looking at $2,000, maybe even all the way up to $5,000 a month, depending on where you rent. So it's more expensive to rent also in the city of Safety Harbor. Now, at the time of this taping, interest rates are so low. We're in the 2s and 3s. It really doesn't make a lot of sense to rent. So if you're thinking about moving into Safety Harbor, and you can, now there's situations where you can't buy and you got to rent, I understand that. Well, make sure you have everything ready to go. You have your full pre-approval or cash if you're paying cash, because you're going to be competing against multiple offers, against other buyers, so you got to be prepared for that when you're purchasing in Safety Harbor. So for the next cost, it's one of our favorites. Everybody loves to pay this, and that's taxes. Okay? We love paying taxes, right? Every day we work and we want to pay taxes. Well, I'm kidding, because on my other videos, people actually take me serious. But taxes in the Safety Harbor area, let's start with property taxes. They're a little higher than the other areas in Pinellas County. The millage rate's a little higher, but for Pinellas County in general, average is 0.94%, so just under 1% of your value. In Safety Harbor, it's a little bit higher. It's like just over 1%. So, for example, a $350,000 home, you're going to pay a little bit more than $3,500 a year, and that's with homestead exemption. So the property taxes are a little bit higher. And let's move into sales tax. Sales tax in the Pinellas County, because it's done by county, sales tax is 7% in Pinellas County. Nationally, it's a little lower, just below 6%. But in our area, it's 7% for Safety Harbor in Pinellas County. So nobody likes paying taxes, right? But here's something good about taxes in Florida, and that is the state income tax rate is 0%. Zero. So, move to Florida, you pay no state income tax, no local income tax. You get to keep more of what you earn because in our state, you don't pay anything. So that is a huge benefit. I hear people telling me when they come down from up north, they're blown away by how much more money is in their check because they don't have to pay state income tax. That is a huge benefit for our area. So far you've seen some of this video. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Please hit the thumbs up right now. Could you take a second and just hit the thumbs up? That would help me out a lot. And hey, wait till the end of this because I'm going to do an aerial tour of Safety Harbor. You're going to see some pretty pictures. Just stay to the end, watch it, you're going to enjoy it. Okay, so our next cost is going to be something we really enjoy paying for also, and that's insurance. So for our area in Safety Harbor and in Florida, homeowners insurance is a little more expensive than it is in the rest of the country. We're in a tropical area, we're surrounded by water, and we have storms. Sometimes we have a brush with a hurricane. We have not had a direct hit from a hurricane, knock on wood, in my lifetime. We've had some close calls, but we do have a lot of weather in the summer, rain, lightning, things like that. So our insurance is a little bit higher, our homeowners insurance. So we average around, I'd say, $2,000 a year, $2,000 to $2,500 a year, depending on the age of your home. Whereas the national average is around $12 to $1,400 a year. So we're definitely higher. If you live near water or a low-lying area, you're going to have to pay flood insurance. And that can get expensive. You got to be careful with that. Depending on the age of your house, the elevation, where you are, you could have a very expensive flood insurance policy. Now, I advise everybody in Florida to get flood insurance because we're all surrounded by water. So for the flood zones that don't require flood insurance, you can get it as low as, around $300 a year, $300 to $500 a year. If you're in a flood zone, low-lying areas, it's going to be higher. It's going to be closer to $1,000 a year. If you're right on the beach, you're exposed to the water, well, then you're going to be up there quite a bit, $3,000 to $5,000 a year, depending on, again, your elevation of your home. And those rates have changed quite a bit. So when you move to this area, you definitely want to check out flood insurance. For auto insurance, we're a little bit higher than national average. Also, we have an aging population here, a lot of retirees, so we average about $1,700 a year for auto insurance, whereas the national average is around $1,200, so we're a little bit higher in auto insurance also. Surprisingly, for health insurance, we're not. Even though we have retirees and an aging population, health insurance isn't that expensive. It's right around the national average, about 0.98% of the national average. So, for example, for a family, I pay about $850 a year. That's with the exchange. So it's not that bad for the area. Oops, well, I messed up a little bit. I said $850 a year for health insurance. Actually, $850 a month. It'd be nice if it was $850 a year, but I'm self-employed on the exchange. That's my premium. But health insurance here is not that expensive, not much more than the national average. Okay, so let's go over the household expenses, your everyday expenses. You got groceries. We're a little bit higher than the national average in groceries. We're about 105% of the national average. Gas, right now during this taping, we're right around I think it's about $2.40 a gallon. We're right at the national average as far as that goes. If you get closer to the beach or tourist areas, you're going to pay more, so you got to be careful of that. As far as cable, you're looking at the national average. My cable bill is right around $250 a month. That's with everything and internet. And for electric, you're looking at more around the national average, right around $220 as an average per month. Now, in the summer, for electricity, you're going to pay a lot more than you do in the winter. But on average, you're not paying that much. In the summer, because it gets so hot here, you're running your air conditioning all the time. Once we hit winter, which we don't really get winter here, you turn your AC off. You don't have to have it on very much. And you definitely don't have to run the heat because if we ever get into the 40s at night, that's rare. 30s rarely happens. So electricity is not that bad as far as that goes on average. And as far as one of the things you need to know if you're going to live in a house and you're going to have a lawn, maybe you're coming somewhere that cities where you don't have a yard, you're going to have to, you're going to want to pay somebody to do that possibly, or you'll do it yourself. But, to have lawn maintenance and things like that, you're looking at about $100 a month. Pool, if you have a pool, a lot of people in Florida have a pool, you're looking at about $80 to $100 a month to have that maintained. So those are just some of the daily household expenses you're going to have. For restaurants, dining, it's not that expensive. One of the great things about Safety Harbor is we have a lot of restaurants right down on Main Street, and there are quite a bit to choose from, and they're not that expensive. I mean, really, to go out for a family of 4, you're looking at about $80 for an average meal. If you go to higher-end restaurants, obviously you're going to pay more. But for the most part, restaurants are pretty affordable. Again, if you go down to the beach, you go down to go to Orlando, you go to tourist areas, you're going to pay more for sure. But for the most part, restaurants, dining, eating out, going out on the town is not that much more expensive than the national average. So we make videos about living in the Tampa Bay area, but one of my favorites is Safety Harbor because I personally live in Safety Harbor, lived here for over 15 years, raised our kids here, really love it, and it's a beautiful place, great place to raise a family, great schools. You're going to see the aerial video coming up here shortly that's going to show, coming off of Tampa Bay, just how beautiful Safety Harbor is. And also you'll see some videos in this display right here, other videos about the Tampa Bay area. Feel free to click on one of those. Please subscribe to our channel. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you have any questions whatsoever, reach out to me. I'm a realtor in the area. I can help you find a home. My contact information is here on the screen. Take care. I hope you and your family are being safe. Thank you very much.